The book of Second Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us. Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's your brother Yahweh Sap out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. And basically, came across this article a couple days ago about the metaverse, and I found it interesting because we moving into a digital age. It's a thing called the fourth industrial revolution, and when you go into these different revolutions, they revolutionize the world. With the locomotive, for instance, back in, what was that, the 1800s, I believe, that's when, the steam engine came out, and, that allowed people to travel and move goods quicker, and the world changed with that. And you're seeing them actually put in place this digital system that is going to be linked to that MOTB. And for those that don't know that, like I said, I got brought out Second Corinthians as a spirit. Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. If you are in the know, you know what that MOTB is, and it's not a philosophy. It's not. It's something physical. When you go to the breakdown that the elder apostles actually, you know, teach and have been teaching for years. When you actually, if your spiritual eyes open, it makes the most sense. It's just clear cut. You know what I mean? There's no denying it. And then when you seeing how they're rolling out this system, this current system, everything being digitalized, 5G, you want this super fast internet connection speed. Why would you think they're putting an infrastructure or a network that fast in place? Because transactions are going to be, you looking at these Amazon Go stores that you can just walk into the store and walk out and you've already been charged. Or in China, how they got a social credit system where if you do a jaywalk, they've already taken a picture of you, basically fined you and took it out your account by the time you made it across the street. So what is so far-fetched or hard to believe about this MOTB? And at first I used to think it was mainly, a lot of demons that's working with, or agents working with the people, but it's also very, very spiritual. Scriptures talk about follow not a multitude to do evil. You had a lot of people. I was just listening to the elder I Thumb from Connecticut. He was going into how, through faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you had brothers that jobs were in jeopardy, but they've refused and they still fast to what they believed in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and they refused to, get that concoction. And now look at their lifting mandates. Funny part is, I just enrolled my children in this school, and they just sent me a message, a phone call, an automatic call, talking about how they're lifting the mandates. They suggest that you. So but it's a bigger agenda going on, because at the end of the day, when you go into this, like literally, like the brother our Juan, he was going into basically how he was going into basically how although New York is lifting the mandates, they're coming up with a color code system, just like how it was with 9/11. That color code with yellow, red, green, the different statuses of, the severity of the alert of, So basically, they'll say certain areas are more hotbeds of the virus than others, just like that movie Songbird. you know, certain areas he was able to travel through with no problem. Certain areas that were heavily militarized. So I said all that to say this, because scriptures tell you, this is the book of Exodus chapter 23 verse 1. Thou shalt not, well, I'm going to skip to the point. Verse 2, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in the cause of decline after many to wrest judgment. The point is, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Clear cut, to the point. And it's some evil when you trust in this red Hebrew Edomite, this so-called white man, to trust in him, for your salvation. Because this is like a carnal means of salvation. You had a lot of people take this. Basically because they wanted to hold on to what they had, jobs, be able to move. You had people take it just because they wanted to go to sporting events. Like, real talk, there was videos up about that. It said, "Cursed be the man that trusteth in man." It talks about how, cursed be those that go down to Egypt for help in the book of Isaiah. So, and you got all these different side effects that came about through this thing when they even created a whole nother industry to make money. And, whatever their agenda is behind this, because, it's a lot of speculation. I was listening to the guy Days of Noah because he's in the medical industry and he was just going into medical martial law and the Ministry of Medicine. You got the Ministry of Truth because they're saying that basically all this truth is out here, that it's a lot of disinformation based on because they came up with, because this science that they created it hasn't even been proven. All it has been proven is how much of sheeple these Americans are, because you took something that wasn't even proven. You know what I mean? They put you in an uncomfortable situation and people jumped on it. So that gives them data to say, well, damn, you know what? When we push this either further gender with this, more likely the MOTB, how will people react? And more than likely, they had a high success rate with this. When it came down to basically threatening you with your livelihood, or, because a lot of people wasn't taking it until you got threatened with your livelihood. It talks about persecution in the scriptures. You got all these so-called Christians that hear that, but then don't expect to go through any. So how can you really be the true believers? I'll read out a little bit of this article. And like I said, it just made me think of a couple scriptures. Because like I said, if you can't see this for what it is, yeah, the Lord ain't dealing with you. It says Apple to replace the iPhone with magic metaverse contact lenses that let you see in VR. So let you see in virtual reality. Look at this. Okay. Facebook Reality Labs plays Think Fast with Mark Zuckerberg. The end of smartphones. The end of smartphones could be near, as it looks like Apple is planning to move everything off iPhones and into our eyeballs. According to Mac Rumors, Apple is in the process of designing high-tech contact lenses which let you live in augmented reality without the need for handheld devices. So you got these, first you got the VR glasses or goggles. Then you got these contact lenses. So what would be the next step? When you go into, the Neuralink, that basically you won't need any of that because it'll be like it's inserted completely in your brain. And the sad part is you're gonna have a lot of Jake that's gonna jump on this. We as those hopeful elect, we as those men coming back again in the steed of being prophets, sometimes we can speak things into existence because it's not us really speaking it, it's the Lord speaking through us. And I remember making mention of when Biden's administration said they was going to basically like administer all these different crack pipes to certain areas and whatnot. And, brother cut me off because of the fact, nobody want to speak that in existence because, Jake has already been through that. But at the same time, you got to understand, judgment is for 2/3 of Jake and these heathens and these fucking demons and devils. And you got to understand, with these hard times coming, these bad times, people going to resort to drugs and shit like that. And they know that. So just pray that you ain't gonna get caught up in that, you or nobody you love or your household, But yeah, it's gonna be real bad out here. I grew up in the crack generation, not the beginning of it, but the '90s and whatnot. We was that generation that was standing on the corners with our pants sagging. I never did the sagging pants because I looked at it like you shit in your pants, or you couldn't run from the police with your pants sagging. You couldn't hop a fence with your pants sagging. But nonetheless, I've experienced that. And I remember seeing people that are, women desperate out of desperation want to suck a dick for, you know what I mean? Or not giving a fuck about their kids. Like, yeah, that was a strong demon. But out of desperation, people do all kind of demonic things. People, that's why it's so important to have this truth, because in the times or the evil times, the bad times, what you gonna hope in? Because you can't, it tells you in the scriptures in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, but blessed be the man that trusteth in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says the Apple lenses will combine the iPhone with Apple Glass and contact lenses so that you can make calls, search the web, and even play games while being able to see the world around you. The smart contact lenses will reportedly blend with your natural eye color and use something called Reality OS. What's more, they'll be much cheaper than iPhones. They'll be much cheaper than iPhone. So if an iPhone is so expensive with these glasses, because this infrastructure for this beast system is already in place. That's why they're making statements about the NWO is already here. You know, and if you got a spiritual eye, that spiritual eye salve, you can see it. So it's the book of because it tells you, I mean, and now you're seeing how wicked this world truly is. You know, it tells you not to follow the multitude to do evil, but the whole world lieth in wickedness. This is the book of 1 John chapter 5:19. I'm gonna start at verse 18. We know that whosoever is born of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua sinneth not, but he that is begotten of Yahweh keepeth himself, and that wicked one toucheth him not. Because it tells you that, like with Peter, Peter was Satan desired to sift Peter, but it tells you that Yahweh who you people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, basically kept Satan. He kept him in the truth, and that's goes. I'm just getting the understanding of that because the elder said it's not you that keeps yourself in the truth. It's Yahweh Bashem Yahshua that keeps you. You know what I mean? Because he's the intercessor. You don't have that spirit. The spirit that we're gonna have to have. I was watching the Book of Eli. I remember when I first seen that in the world, I was like, this is the dumbest movie ever. But seeing it in the truth, that's why you have them spiritual eyes. I was like, oh wow, this is because it's everything that the elder apostles spoke on. The spiritual power, all that, showing you how the Lord can use one man. So the Lord doesn't need a large number. That's showing you his power. But verse 19, and we know that we are of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and the whole world lieth in wickedness. We want this place destroyed. The rest of the world, these so-called Christians, these other religions and heathens, they want this to go on. I go to Ishmael, you go into their gas stations, these motherfuckers got the whole restaurant in there, selling clothes, selling phones, and they got Bitcoin machines. So yeah, they want this fucking system to go on. They ain't trying to see Allah. You know what I mean? We trying to see Allah Shaja. You know what I mean? Great demon-like power to destroy this wicked-ass place called America. Because we know through the spirit and through faith that, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, who you people ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, that, it was a terrible power that brought that flood. It's a terrible power. I mean, with all this judgment going on in the world, you got to be a fucking fool to think the Most High God is all love. So, again, like I said, with this system being put in place, if you can't see with all this stuff coming digital and this technology, this smart technology, come on, they talking about they got clothes that's got chips on them. You got clothes that's got chips on them. They talking about a lot of babies that got delivered within like the last 5 years have got microchips put in them. And I can believe that. When you look at how they needed the hospitals to play along with this shit. So it makes so much sense when the elder Apostle Gabar went into, the AMA, the American Medical Association, how they funded that. When you go into a doctor and a physician, like a doctor, the word doctor means to falsify. When you go in, like I'm in Cleveland, so we have a county hospital called Metro Health. And, I remember one of my daughters was born there, and literally you can see the pyramid in there, their philosophy. When you go into that Hippocratic oath that they take, they praying to, idols and shit. Even this place is satanic, and it's all, in life and wickedness. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this beast system is being set up in your face. And this is the scripture that goes into that. Because, like I said, everything will be the MOTB, a digital system. It's going to be an eye in the sky to watch all your moves. You're going to have a lot of automation, And you're gonna be a slave to like what was that quote that Alex Jones used to say? Prison planet. This gonna be truly a prison planet. And that's why it tells you if Yahweh Bashem Yahushua didn't seal like Yahweh, no, the very elect wouldn't be saved. No flesh would be saved. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, point is verse 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. You got people that already got those microchips in their right hands or their left hands because it don't really matter. If you insert in your body, that's enough. And then the Neuralink, like I said, they supposed to start human trials this year. If they probably already starting it. You know what I mean? You got to remember, like the elder was going into, when you go into the classification, like with the JFK thing, after so many years, they said they was going to release it. Then when it came time to release it, they said, well, we're going to wait another 30 years. Because you got people still alive that was, you know what I mean? And basically Esau is such a devil. He, there's people that was involved with this, and you know what I mean? Like, basically, a lot of people can go, because if people are still alive and people seeing this, people got to be held accountable for stuff. So they want the things to die off and die out. You know what I mean? It says, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you couldn't actually participate in society. And like my brother used to make this statement, he said, conversation rule the nation. Everything is bartering. Everything is conversation. Everything, man, that's why people get worried, or you are an enigma to a person if you are a quiet person. People, can't figure a person out that doesn't speak or really quiet or a loner. They can just say, oh, that person don't fuck with nobody. That's why sometimes it's better to be quiet. You know what I mean? The scriptures talk about being quicker to hear than to speak. So you're not going to be able to participate in the system without this MOTB, which is that, that potato chip. Say if he that had the mark, which goes in the charagma, and it's something something that is inserted into your flesh, a palisade. When you go into Karoks and all that, the elders go into the breakdown. But best believe when you go into that that grain of rice, that MOTB, that potato chip, and a palisade, it looks like a little steak. And that grain of rice or that MOTB or that potato chip looks like, it's all spiritual. And if you got the spiritual eyesight to see it, you will. Like I said, just like I said, with this whole metaverse thing, the system, and then this metaverse is basically, commerce as well. You'll be able to, buy and sell off of this. Because you got to understand, they got technology out here. They're when they release something to the public, they probably got like virtual VR and like holograms that they can sit up there. Like they probably got technology where you could, like how in Star Trek or certain movies, like they showed it in the metaverse with Mark Zuckerberg. Basically, like everybody's at their home, and then they all meet up at the metaverse. And then I forgot what movie, I think it was like RoboCop or something like that, where you had people in different countries that all basically was in their like offices or whatnot, but they all held a meeting at one particular location. You had some people that was really there. You had some people that was holograms. They really got technology like that. Because I remember when I was locked up in the workhouse and they literally had the TV, the phone with the TV on it. That was out of I think like out of Demolition Man back in the 90s or something like that. They don't release technology to the public until it's like way far outdated to them. So yeah, like I said again, we living in those times, and if you're a spiritual person, you will recognize that. So if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Chakwa. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Aquat and the Akim of the listen and learning. Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad. Scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, for whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. And Mawatha Lababah. Shalom.